Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I actually had a completely other video that I was gonna film, and then I got this package in the mail today. It's the new Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation. You guys probably know how much I love the Pretty Fresh products. The Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist has been my favorite, as you can tell. I love it. I also love the Tinted Moisturizer. I wear it all the time, so when I saw that they were coming out with a new foundation, I got so excited. I actually ended up picking up the Pretty Fresh Concealer as well. I bought those a couple of weeks ago in hopes that I would be sent the foundation and PR so that I could review that and then try out the concealer since I hadn't tried it yet. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm really excited. We are just going to jump right into it. So a little disclaimer really quickly, I did get a facial a couple days ago, so there are some spots from extractions that are still healing, so hopefully the foundation doesn't look too weird over top of those. I'm going to try to just, base my review off of the areas that aren't trying to heal still, if that makes sense. So just ignore that as we go. They actually sent me their Pretty Fresh Prime and Set kit, which comes with the Pretty Fresh Primer. It's the Hydrating Hyaluronic Primer, another one of these mists, which is perfect because I'm almost out of this, and then it comes with a blending sponge. So they sent that as well as two of their shades in the full-size Pretty Fresh Hydrating Foundation. And then this is kind of fun. They actually sent little mini foundations to kind of show the full range. So we have the fair, light, and medium shades right here. And then we have medium, dark, dark, and then deep. It's kind of hard for me to show you all the shades while I'm holding the sides like that, but there's a really, really nice shade range in this foundation, which is amazing. They sent me two shades. They sent me a Fair 25W, which I think the undertone might be good on this one. Hopefully it's not too light. And then they also sent Light 40N, which I feel like the tone might be good on this one, but the undertone in this one looks like it might work a little bit better. I don't know. I could technically mix them, but yeah, we'll figure it out. I think I'm gonna try the Fair 25W first. So here's the packaging. It's a nice frosted plastic bottle. You get a pump with a cap on top, and it comes with 1 fluid ounce in here. Now this is sold in stores at some Ultas, and it's online in Ulta. I have the little card here. So it just says, this skin perfecting medium buildable coverage formula creates a healthy skin-like finish. Get coverage and hydration with the same good for you ingredients like hyaluronic acid for your healthiest looking skin ever. Sounds great to me. So this is dermatologist tested, oil-free, vegan, and ideal for all skin types, it says. So it obviously has hyaluronic acid in it, and then coconut water as well. And that's all the info on this card. Let me look up the price for you. I'm really excited to try this out because I do love the Tinted Moisturizer. Okay, so this retails for $16. So it is a little bit more expensive for Colourpop, but the Tinted Moisturizer is $14 to me. That's worth every penny. So if this formula is great, $16 sounds good to me. So like I said before, they did send their hyaluronic primer, which looks like this. Now this isn't a new product. This was launched, I believe, with the Tinted Moisturizer. I am not that familiar with the primer. I haven't used it in a while. So instead, I'm gonna use the primer that I've been using consistently recently. That way I have a better idea of how the foundation actually wears. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep the skin with this right here. It's the Dominique Cosmetics and JD Weighty 180 Ultra Hydrating Complexion Primer. I've been loving this. This and the hydrating mist that they launched together are seriously so good. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over the skin, and I want to make sure to give this a minute to really sink into the skin, just so I can really get a feel for like the texture and finish of the foundation when we apply it. I'm gonna take a little of the fair shade and just kind of swatch it on my face to see if that's a good match. It's a little bit light, but it does match my neck. Okay, I think this shade is actually gonna work a little bit better for me. This one is Light 45W, and it's from the little sample bottle, so I'm actually going to use this. I feel like it's more helpful, or at least I'm assuming it's probably more helpful for you guys to see like what my exact match would probably be. I don't really know how much of this to put on. I'm just using the applicator. We will start with that. I'm going to take my brush. This one is just my It Cosmetics brush, and I'm going to start buffing that all over the face. I feel like I used to do the whole half and half, one with the brush, one with the sponge application when doing foundation reviews, but now this is how I apply every foundation. I use a brush and a sponge, so we're just going to leave it at that. Okay, this color works really, really well for me. I'm loving the coverage, but it feels really lightweight. That's what I'm noticing. Oh wow, I really like the finish too. I'm just kind of putting it all over the skin. I'm going to take a little bit and put it on the back of my hand and then take that on the sponge. I'm going to go over everything with the sponge just to press it into the skin and make sure there's no brush lines anywhere. This is looking really, really nice. At first I was thinking today might not have been the best day for me to do a foundation review because I do have some dry patches in the T-zone from my facial. But then I thought if I have more texture on my skin or more dryness, then maybe I can really see how it would work if you're somebody who has super dry skin. So this is actually looking really nice, even over all those dry areas. I'm really, really liking how this looks. Okay, for under the eyes, I'm going to use the Colourpop Pretty Fresh concealer that I purchased. Now I'm probably going to use the shade Fair 20 C1. I'm going to go ahead and dot this under the eyes. I don't really want to put it all over the face since we are doing a foundation review. I don't want like concealer to interfere. So I'm just going to take my sponge and blend that out under the eyes. That really brightened up the under eye area. I like that a lot. I do need to use something more heavy duty for my blemishes. So I'm just going to mix my Laura Mercier concealer with the First Aid Beauty one. I'm just going to spot conceal the areas that need concealing. And I'm just going to blend those in with the sponge. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set the under eyes with the Glossier Wowder. I'm also taking that powder to set the T-zone, and I'm going to lightly set the sides of the face as well. But I am focusing most of the powder in the T-zone because that's where I tend to get oily. And then I'm just going to gently press over everything with my sponge just to make sure there's no powdery finish. Okay, things are looking really nice. I really like how my complexion looks. It's definitely more of like a natural looking and feeling foundation. It feels like nothing's on my face, which I really like, but the coverage was there. Besides the spots that I wouldn't have been able to cover with any foundation, everything else on my complexion was evened out so nicely. I'm really excited about this. So I'm just gonna speed through the rest of my makeup. Sometimes I do this off camera. Today I'll just do it quickly on camera with you guys. I'm gonna take the Pure Cosmetics Bronzing Act Bronzer. I'm going to use this to warm up the complexion. I'm going to go ahead and fill my brows just with the Thrive Cosmetics Infinity Waterproof Eyebrow Liner in the shade Audrey. I need to groom my brows. They're getting a little unruly, but I'm not going to worry about it today. Okay, we're going to do the eyes really quickly. I'm just going to take this Too Faced Melted Chocolate Matte Eyeshadow. I'm going to use the shade Chocolate Malt. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of apply some to one eye. I'm just going to take that with a brush and blend it up and out, trying to focus most of the product against the lash line, and then once there's less on the brush, I move it up toward the brow and it kind of naturally fades on its own. I'm also going to apply a little bit on the lower lash line, and I'm just going to take that same brush and blend that out. Okay, and then I actually bought this when I bought the concealers. It's just a Super Shock eyeshadow and it's in the shade Ice Dream, and it literally looks like my personality in an eyeshadow. It's like iridescent purple and blue glitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on top. Who knows how this is gonna look? I'm hoping it will look kind of cool. Ooh, yes. It definitely looks so cool on top of that base. I'm gonna take a brush and just apply some of that on the lower lash line as well. Let's put on some mascara. Let's see. I'm gonna do the KKW Beauty Mascara. I can't figure out how I feel about this mascara because I can't figure out if it smudges or flakes on me on its own, or if it's only when I accidentally spray too much setting spray on it that it kind of smears. Because I love how it looks when I first apply it, but yeah, I'm still like testing out the wear of it. So maybe today will give me more clarity. Who knows? Okay, I wiped off any foundation that was on the lips because it was bothering me a little bit. I'm gonna go into this blush from Colourpop. This is the Press Powder blush in the shade Coast to Coast. It was from their Mauve collection a while back. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to the cheeks. I'm going to take a bit of that blush and pop it right in the crease as well to kind of tie all those tones together. Then I'm going to take this Super Shock highlighter. This is from Colourpop as well. It was from their tie-dye collection. I'm actually confused as to what the shades were because this is labeled Manifest That, but on the site, last time I checked at least, it was called the other one. So I don't really know what one it is. This one's the more golden one. There's one that's a little bit pinky. So this one's the golden version of the highlight. I'm just going to go ahead and press this onto the high points of the face. I'm going to take my Almar Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Birthday Suit, and I'm just going to line and fill in the lips with this. And then another thing that I bought in that order with the concealer and the eyeshadow was this So Juicy Gloss. I love this formula. I bought the shade She's Here, and it's like a pretty nude color with a little bit of a shimmer. So I'm just putting that on top. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little more blush. I'm going to assess the situation and put some more bronzer on the forehead. I am going to put a little bit of the Pretty Fresh setting spray on the outer portions of the face. I'm going to cover my lashes so that we can test that today. Just gonna do a couple spritzes. I love this stuff so much. Gonna fan that off, and once it's almost dry, I'm gonna go ahead and take my sponge and just press everything down one more time. And then last but not least, as always, we gotta do some brow gel. I'm gonna take my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. If you missed my last video, I talked about the best brow products. So if you want to see my top picks for brows, I will have that link down below. I'm adding a bit of highlighter to the inner corner before I forget, and a little bit under the brow. Okay, so that's as good as it's gonna get for today. Let's go ahead and do a wear test. It's currently at 5:18 p.m. so I know that is a later starting time for a foundation review, but I figured I would rather like stay up late and get this video up because I wanted to know how I felt about this foundation and I wanted to wear it. I've been so excited about it, so here we are. I'm gonna try to wear this for as long as possible. As of now, again, the main thing I'm noticing is how extremely lightweight it feels on the skin. It almost feels like nothing. But again, the coverage was great. The under eye concealer looks really nice right now too. I'm excited to see how this wears. I have seen a few reviews pop up here and there, and I haven't watched them on purpose because I wanted to make sure that my review was based off of seeing nothing about this foundation. So yeah, I'm just honestly giving my first impressions. Let's go ahead and do a wear test. I'm gonna keep this on for the rest of the night and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna look up close. The only thing that I'm noticing right off the bat is on my extremely dry patches, which is happening right here, there's a little bit of clinging happening, but honestly, I think any foundation would do that at this point. So just something to note. I'm gonna try not to judge the foundation off of the areas that are kind of currently compromised from my facial a couple days ago. So anyway, let's go ahead and keep wearing this and I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so you probably know by now, I usually like to do my very first check-in up against the window so we can see how it looks in natural light. I think everything looks really nice and natural right now. So yeah, I'm actually very excited about it. Again, I'm so shocked at how it feels on the skin. It feels so lightweight. It feels like I'm not even wearing makeup. I love that so much. So I'm obviously gonna keep wearing this and I will let you guys know how it ends up wearing throughout the day. I'm interested to see if it gets oily or if it kind of neutralizes everything or if it continues to become more obvious on dry patches. So I'll keep that in mind as I pay attention to my skin for the rest of the night. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next check-in. All right, you guys, I'm back in my studio. It's currently 1:05 in the morning, so I've been wearing this for about 8 hours. I think I'm doing the math right. Every time I do a late check-in, I can't do math at night. So point is, I've been wearing this for a long time, and honestly, I'm really impressed with how it wore. I will say there's a little bit of settling around the nose area. That's pretty normal for me with a lot of foundations, but there is a little bit more than usual with this particular foundation. With that being said, there's really not too bad of settling in the smile lines for me, and on the forehead everything looks great. I'm also really impressed at how well it stayed in the T-zone for me. Usually foundation comes off my nose and my forehead pretty quickly, so I was really happy about that. I actually really enjoyed how this wore. I'm gonna keep wearing it definitely, and I'm excited to see how often I end up using this. It definitely is a hydrating foundation, but even after 8 hours or whatever, I don't feel like I look overly greasy. It just looks dewy, and I didn't touch up with powder. Usually if I'm wearing a hydrating foundation, I check on my makeup throughout the day and I will touch up so it wouldn't look this dewy, but honestly I feel like everything looks pretty balanced, and overall I'm really impressed, you guys. Like honestly, I feel like this is definitely one of my favorite foundations that I've worn recently. I'm gonna have to keep wearing it to see if it's one of my favorites. I have been loving the Uoma Beauty foundation that I tried this month, so I still feel like I'm gonna reach for that one a little bit more than this, but I loved the coverage of this one and I loved how it literally felt like I wasn't wearing any foundation, but it gave me a really flawless looking complexion. And I noticed in the dry patches around my face, it honestly didn't emphasize it more than it did when we started, because honestly some of the areas right here are pretty dry and I felt like they looked really good overall. So I'm really excited about this foundation. I feel like it's another Pretty Fresh line win for me. I love the Pretty Fresh line from Colourpop. I think that their products are really, really great, and it's always really exciting when you find a good complexion product from an affordable brand like Colourpop. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have tried this foundation and what you think. I feel like it's going to be a foundation that I reach for a lot in the winter time. Right now during the summer, I usually try to wear things that are going to be a little bit more on the mattifying side just because it is so hot outside. I don't like my makeup to melt off. But with that being said, it did still really wear really, really beautifully on the skin, and I bet you I could get even more wear out of this, but I need to go to bed. It's so late. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!